to share my screen, which hopefully will work. There you go. So when you click on Teach Zone here, you're presented with the 4 levels. The password that you have, which is a capital E, a capital U 2022, is valid for any level of teaching here. So if you feel that maybe you have a 3rd class that is, you know, that would prefer the program of 1st and 2nd, please dip into this or do this one. And vice versa, have a look at the 5th and 6th. You can mix and match. What we have developed with Trish is a toolkit. We're the mechanics, so if you have any issues, we're here to fix them, we're here to support you, and we're here hopefully to make it enjoyable. But ultimately there's utter flexibility, and it's entirely up to you to implement the program that fits your classroom, because nobody knows your classroom as well and as much as you do. So once you've reached this level, you click on the class level that you want. For me, it brings me straight into it because I've already entered the password a million times, so my computer knows it already. And here you have the 6 lessons. They're summarized, so these are drawings done by the kids. They're summarized. You know, the first lesson will be about, as Trish had discussed, the positives and negatives of belonging to a club. The second lesson focuses on the symbols, and the children have great discussion about this. The third lesson sometimes run on for a little while because it's about Brexit, and they have lots to contribute on Brexit. The fourth lesson is kind of thinking about their European and their global citizenship. So we look at the various levels of action, and we use a Russian doll. I'll go into it. I'll show you. And then the lesson 5 and 6 are very much focused on organizing a European election. And you know, European elections happen every 5 years, but the children being given different roles and trying to understand how the parliament works and etc. They really love it, and they love actually getting stuck into campaigning and drawing posters and etc. So lesson 1, and this is the structure for all the lessons. They start with a little video by me or Trish, which will be under 5 minutes and which might give you the information that you need to know. Some of you will be very familiar with it, some of you mightn't. So if you want to kind of freshen up or kind of make sure that you're clear on what the lesson is about as in terms of background, have a look at this video. If you don't want to watch it, this is the script of the video, so you can read it quickly. Then we have the lesson plan here. If you click on each section, I won't do it, but if you click on each section, it kind of it gives you the kind of details of what the learning objectives are, how should you structure the introduction of your lesson, the body of the lesson, and the conclusion. Then we get to the lesson slides, and here, those of you who did it in the past will see a change, not for the better, and I haven't found a solution, and neither has the IT guy found a solution, which is more critical. We used to be able to play the lesson slides from within the website, but now they open as a viewer. So you can view them, but you cannot play them. So what you need to do then is actually, let me just go all the way down to click on download here. Your lesson slides download, and I'm just going to switch my screen here to show you how the slides work. Hold on, I need to open the slides first. Yes. Now let me just switch the view, and that's the difference between Teams, sorry, and Zoom. You have to reshare every single time. So here you, oh, hold on, I didn't share the sound. Hold on a second. I need to do this again. Share the sound, that's it. And here, there. So here you have the slides for your first lesson. As you could see, it was very long, but I'll explain why, and it's not what you need to cover entirely. So the first lesson is about let's discover the European Union. You have a little Shamey Shamrock here, who's the mascot for the entire program. The kids love kind of finding where he is and what he has to say to them. So if you click on him,
look out for Shamey Shamrock on each of these slides.
That's it. So Shamey Shamrock will prompt you with a question or will make a comment or etc. So as you know, to get the plaque at the very end, you need to do a KWL. So the K and the W, you do it before starting lesson 1, and the L, it would be great to do it at the very end, a week after the last session, so that if they don't play or they don't rely on immediate memory, but they're able to kind of think maybe a little bit further back. But basically, what do you know about the European Union could be a good start with the children. And then that's what I wanted to say as well. We start this program very locally. So Shamey Shamrock lives in Kilmurray. And we discuss, you know, the differences between a village, a city, a town, and etc. And we build it up. Then we move to the level of the country, the kind of global level, and then we bring it back to the club level. And the children, the children love, you know, finding the smallest country in the EU, which is Malta down here, the little confetti here, and to get a sense that Ireland is indeed on the periphery, on the western side. It's an island compared with others that might be landlocked, like the Czech Republic and etc. So they get to kind of, they really enjoy looking at the map, and obviously you won't escape Italy shaped like a boot, right? Kicking Sicily. That's something they always like having a look at. We look at why the club was created. Again, you have Shamey Shamrock here. I won't play everything he says, but it's a, you know, without going into the details of World War II, but obviously it was to bring peace to the continent after war, and the European Union got the Nobel Peace Prize, which I always describe as the gold medal of peace. It's the top prize that you can get for achieving peace and indeed guaranteeing peace on the continent. And there you will probably have to maybe engage with some students interested in what's happening in the Ukraine. But then we discuss the concept of a club. Every child is in a club. I you know, whether it's swimming, dancing, soccer, rugby, or music, they're all in a club. And what's interesting is that you get them to talk about what's good and what's bad in a club, you know, and they are so good at actually kind of going beyond the obvious. I've had some amazing answers, so it's very interesting to get them to think about this. So just, I had put those slides in because I thought they wouldn't actually necessarily think of it, but it's great. It really gets them talking. And at the same time, you know, we all have to follow the same rules. This is a nice kind of entry point to explain Brexit, for example, or why the UK wanted to leave. And then to finish the lesson, we, well, Trish actually devised this activity, which the children absolutely adore, which is smoothie making. So each country is a fruit, or Germany is milk, you know, at each table, or however you manage it with COVID, they have the fruit that they put into the blender. It gets blended, or the children blend it. They really like it, and then it makes something new. And I just want to I just want to say that I usually put the European flag on the blender, and when I piloted it from juniors to fourth, because we do this activity from juniors to fourth, it's only fifth and sixth we don't, like the children loved it, got it straight away. You know, it smelt of banana because Ireland was in there, and it was blue thanks to the blueberries, and it was liquid because of the milk. And what was interesting is that when we did it in the CPD, we did it very early on in the CPD course. And a lot of the teachers were kind of shocked by it and were kind of arguing, well, that's like crushing the identities of the country. You know, Nigel Farage would have this kind of approach to the EU. And as the CPD developed, like we managed through discussion to kind of see how intertwined the countries are in the European Union, and actually how the EU isn't a fruit salad. It's not like, oh, I don't like the blueberries, I'll pick the blueberries out, and etc. Or, you know, the blueberries want to leave, we're going to pick the blueberries out, and it's very easy. Brexit has showed us how complex the process of disassociation, of moving out of the club is. And what I explained to the children is that, well, yes, through some kind of chemical process, we could probably take the bananas out after they were blended, but it will take a lot of time and effort. And Brexit has been exactly that, a lot of time and effort. So this is usually your last slide. I have a few extra slides if you want to go further, maybe with fourth class, you know, looking at the map of who joined at what point and etc. And to find different countries and get more into the nitty-gritty of the geography. So this is lesson 1. Now, let me just, yes, okay. So let me just go back to the website. You have a quiz for each lesson. So the quiz is actually only 4 questions. I know for some teachers it's not enough, but for other teachers it's plenty because the lessons are quite packed and they don't want to spend too much time. So the quiz there, again, you cannot play it. You used to, but you can't anymore. So you have to download it. But it's the same principle. Shami Shamrock leads you around those 4 questions. If you click on the right answer, you have people clapping. If you click on the wrong answer, you have a sad trombone. And I have discovered that children love the sad trombone. So sometimes they kind of volunteer an answer they know to be wrong, just to hear it, just to hear the sad trombone. And then when you go into resources, for every single lesson, you will have all the documents that are here as PowerPoints that you can download. So here you have your KWL that we're asking you to fill out. You have the lesson plan 1. You have European Union flags that you might want to use, and etc. You can download the PowerPoints, slides and quiz, and we added the video, but there's not much point to downloading the video. So this is lesson 1. Lesson 2. Lesson 2 focuses on, and I've forgotten what lesson 2 focuses on, so I'm going to tell you in a second. Oh yeah, the symbols, that's true. So lesson 2 is about the symbols of the European Union. Again, the same principle of the lesson slides are in here. So you try and think of Ireland first in terms of the symbols that represent Ireland, and Trish has a great activity sheet actually with different symbols, not necessarily about Ireland, just symbols like, you know, the toilet symbol or etc. And getting the children to find out what the symbols represent and etc. Then we're asking, do you know what symbols the EU uses? And we go through the 4 EU symbols. So there's the flag, there's the special day, Europe Day, which is the equivalent of St. Patrick's Day, but at European level. There's a motto, which is like a slogan, unity and diversity. And then there's an anthem, Ode to Joy, that you can play as well. And then we move on to the euro, which has become a symbol, but we highlight that only 19 out of the 27 countries are actually using the euro. And here you know, you can bring a set of coins, get them, now bear in mind it's noisy when you do that, but you can bring a set of coins and get them to look at the back of the coins, the different images that are on one side, and then when you flip the coins, the front is exactly the same except for the value. But you can see here that the map of the EU is here. Oh, there are people in the lobby. Oh, it's Laura. The map of the EU is here, and on the other side you have the Brandenburg Gate here, and here a knight on a horse. Okay, so that's the symbols that you can do. The lesson 3 will be entirely on Brexit, and Brexit has been, as you know, quite conflictual, is still in the process, particularly with the Northern Irish or Northern Ireland protocol. So we start kind of simple about when they voted to leave the club. And actually, I do insist on the fact that, you know, the UK wanted to leave, but this rhetoric that the EU were just happy to get rid of them, except maybe for Ireland, but it is not accurate. Like, there were many countries that really regretted that decision, but obviously respected the democratic vote. So then we go through the reasons why they left. We have a 1-minute video, which is taken from a BBC comedy show, but it's entirely appropriate and it's very funny, and it compares Brexit to a cup of tea. And I think it really kind of gets the children to think, and they find it very funny. So then what does it mean for Ireland, and etc.? What happened? Why does it matter? And then, is it a good deal or not? So we kind of look at the Brexit deal and etc. I think I added, and I have to re-upload it. You see, I had a problem with the uploading, but I added a slide, sorry, on the Northern Ireland Protocol. I just need to upload it literally tonight. There'll be no problem. So lesson 4 is looking at the different level of actions, level of action in terms of making decisions. And here we're using, you know, obviously here the county level, the national level, the European level, and we use Russian dolls. So on each Russian doll, I put a flag that represents the level of action, and then we play a game with different actions, like changing the flowers on the roundabout. Which level makes that decision? Is it local, national, or European? You know, air pollution. Is it local, national, or European? So you have that game included in the resources. And then we look at the single market, which obviously is really at the heart of the European Union creation at the very start. I'm not saying it's only an economic construction, but certainly it's been a big part of it. And the 4 freedoms of movement that are really the DNA of the European Union. So what does the single market look like? This is it. And then, you know, what does it involve? And there's a game there about foods that is also included in the resources. And what does the single market allow you to well, allows producers to put in the food or not? You know, the discussion, of course, is that the European Union has got very high standards when it comes to you know, not pumping your meat with antibiotics or washing your chickens with chlorine before they're put on the market, whereas other countries like the USA, Argentina would be less difficult about it. Lesson 5 and 6, I'm going to quickly go through them, and then I will let Laura discuss our new activity. So lesson 5 prepares you for looks at who decides in the European Union. And to do that, we use, sorry, I'll just, to do that, we use children's literature, The Lion Inside, and we read the book to the children, and then we get them to draw comparisons, to draw comparisons with the European Union. And it's interesting because they are very well able to argue who the lion is, who the mouse is, and sometimes completely different positions, but the argument is very clever. So I was actually confronted with a boy in fourth class who argued the opposite of his friends, but very well. And I couldn't but agree with him as well as the others. It was just very well done. So it's very interesting to get to use children's literature to get the children to draw parallels. And then we get into the concept of elections and referendum, and how are they different? What do you vote for in an election? What do you vote for in a referendum? And I think it's particularly important in Ireland because referenda or referendums are very often used, much more than in France, for example. And then we look at what is a parliament, what does it do, and we introduce the European elections, you know, how often do they happen, who is elected, and etc. Who are our MEPs, and we show the inside of the chamber, and then we organise our own election. And you have in the resources again all the different roles that are attributed to the children. So you'll have the candidates, you will have the journalists, you will have the poster designers, you will have the idea maker, the people who will kind of think strategically about what to argue to be elected, and then you will have the voters, right? And you organize a debate. So that will be in lesson 6. So let me just finish with lesson 6. And in lesson 6 is largely taken up by the election. What I would like to draw your attention to is to try and organize corners of your room where there can be some level of privacy in terms of voting. So we're trying to kind of show the children that a vote is personal and private. You will have children saying, well, I voted for my friend Mark or my friend Siobhan. But the core of a democracy is really the heart of democratic voting is to be able to do it privately and obviously personally. So nobody should know about your vote. So here you kind of engage with the election. Let's debate. Then let's vote. I think I included in the resources a poster like this that you can just stick on a box. You do a slit, and the kids kind of go and put their bulletin in there. You count the votes. They love that, counting the votes. It's always very exciting. And then you go back as to what do they do, where do they sit. You know, those little booths here are all the interpreters, the people who are translating what is being said. 24 official languages in the European Union, so a lot of work to do, and obviously a lot of combinations, and who can stand and who can vote in the European elections. Very important, particularly for those of you who have multicultural classrooms. If you are a citizen of the European Union, but not a citizen of Ireland, you can still vote in the local and the European elections. So and important to show the passport, which at the top always states the European Union before the country. And here I'm just briefly introducing, but there's no hassle if you don't want to do it, the different institutions, that there's not only the European Parliament, but there are other people that are trying to put the pieces together to make decisions. So that's it. That's the 6 lessons. I'm just going to get out of this, and I'm going to welcome Laura, who is here, and I know Georgia as well is here from Greece. She's joining us. It's 11:15 in Greece. She's Hi, Georgia. How are you?
Hi, Georgia.
Hi, so glad to
Hi.
be here with you all. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Georgia. I don't see you on the screen, but I hear you. Hi.
Oh, really? Oh, she's on my screen. Okay.
Okay.
Well, before Laura kicks in, I just want to say that this year we've decided to start something that we all, well, the two of us find very exciting, which is an eTwinning project. Laura is going to ask you in a second if you're all eTwinners, but it's to bring a real European dimension to your classroom. It will be very light touch, and I will take the first and the last activity. So I'm going to let Laura talk to you about it.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Laura. I'm a primary school teacher here in Cork, and we are involved with the BFGTOEU, but also myself and Georgia are eTwinning ambassadors. So I'm an Irish eTwinning ambassador, and Georgia is joining us from Greece, and she is a Greek eTwinning ambassador. So this year with the BFGTOEU, we're giving teachers the opportunity to join an eTwinning project. Do we have any eTwinners here with us tonight? Don't all answer.
Don't be fooled by the hand. It's just Grania saying hello from
Hi,
the very
Grania. Okay, so I've just prepared a little presentation for you. If you just hang on, I'm going to share that with you now. Yeah, we can see that and share. So, eTwinning. If for people who haven't heard of eTwinning before, it is an online platform, a community of teachers around Europe, both primary and secondary teachers, and it has over 1 million registered members. It is a platform provided by the European Commission for teachers to collaborate together professionally to develop projects and for you to connect in a safe way with other teachers in different European countries and for your classes to connect. And there's also many professional development opportunities. This year with BFGTOEU, our plan is to we have currently nearly teachers from every single, now eTwinning is for teachers all over Europe, but for this project we have decided to stick with teachers who are in the EU. So we have currently nearly 30 EU-based teachers in primary school classes who would like to connect with an Irish classroom. So we just thought it would be a lovely way, if you were already going through the BFGTOEU program with your class, that this is just an extra element and an extra little bonus. You're already going to be doing the activities, and that you can share some of those activities with a similar age class. So if you have a third or fourth class, we can connect you with perhaps a third or fourth class in Barcelona or in Croatia. And I think we actually had somebody from Hungary join up today too, Emmanuel. The objectives are that you're going to connect with a class of a similar age to your class, but in a different EU country, that you'll complete some of your BFGTOEU activities with your twin partner. And, it's basically going to let your pupils explore their EU citizenship through working with pupils in a different EU country. So what will you and we thought of a nice name, or your eTwin, be doing together? So there are some activities. So there will be some tile art activities if you would like to participate. For the older classes, you guys have the opportunity to engage in some discussions and to complete the Euro notes lesson that Emmanuel was speaking about earlier. There's also going to be some chances for you to do some Zoom calls and some video conferencing. So Emmanuel is going to present the first one of these in March, and you'll have the opportunity to participate in the smoothie making lesson. So the idea would be that if you are in fourth class in Cork or in Dublin, and the other fourth class in Paris or Madrid is there, that you'll all join the same call together and you can watch Emmanuel give that lesson. Then you're on your own for the next one with your partner, and you'll have completed the lesson about the Euro note, and then you might have arranged a video conference, a Zoom, or whichever platform you like to use, with your eTwin partner, and your kids can discuss that together, or they might just like to look at their designs. then for the third Zoom will be around April, May time. The younger classes are going to do a tile art activity. So you might see this one here. So with your eTwin, you might decide on which one you'll do. Each child will have a page, and then you'll assemble the work of art at the end, and you might then have a phone or a video conference with your partner in your other country. And for the older classes, they might discuss a current topic and create their mind maps, and then you can discuss that together. And then the big event at the end will be the Europe Day quiz. So that's going to be an online class quiz for classes all over Europe, and you're going to be arranged by age, and an Irish MEP will also be attending all of these calls. And your students will have the opportunity to ask an MEP. And was it 7,000 you had it last year, Emmanuel?
Yeah, 7,000.
Yeah. 7,000, yeah, kids. So it's a lot of organising, but it's great fun.
And the Irish MEPs were just fantastic, I have to say. Like, they really engaged. It was great.
Yeah. So I guess judging from the feedback there's not anybody who's currently registered on eTwinning. So to get yourself, if you would like to participate, this is where Georgia and myself can come and give you a help. So you can register on the platform. I'm just going to come out of this. How did I come out again last night? Sorry. I go back here and then I stop sharing, isn't it? Am I back? No, my camera's off.
Yes. No, yeah, I'm back. Okay. I was muted.
Sorry. So if you aren't on the platform, it's really easy. I've Emmanuel has signed up also. You literally will log on to eTwinning. And now I'm thinking, is it .com or .net? Georgia, can you remember? .net.
No,
it's .net for the first registration.
Yeah, .net. It's very easy. You select your country. You guys will select Ireland, and then you fill in the details. And it's Lergos coordinate the eTwinning for Ireland, and then they will say yes, you are a registered teacher in Ireland. You can join eTwinning, and once you're there, Georgia and myself, we are the founders of the eTwinning project. We can add you to our project. We have lots of European-based teachers who are very eager to connect with Irish classes, as we are the only, the main English-speaking EU-based country at the minute.
Will you give us your experience on eTwinning, Georgia? Like, what would be the positives of eTwinning, and what?
Okay, all right. First of all, I need to express my dream in so many years I have been an eTwinner, that I have never, ever worked with an Irish partner, only with Laura and you. So we, in Greece and in other European countries, we have been looking actually for teachers from, let's say, Ireland, Malta, Germany, etc., because we want to have a look and collaborate with people from other cultures as well. So the advantages of being an eTwinner are, first of all, you meet people from other places, other countries. Secondly, it's a safe platform both for you as teachers and for your students if you decide to involve them with, accounts, etc. We'll get into that later on, maybe. Yes, it would be special. I'm sorry, Laura, if you can go on with answering the questions.
Hi, Laura.
No, okay. It would. It will be. I'll go in the chat, Georgia.
Okay. Third, you know that no one can make fun of you or pretend that he or she is an educator without actually being one, because when you want to register to the platform, the eTwinning platform, they will ask for your special number that your school has. It's a kind of code, I think, right?
Yeah.
So if someone wants to cheat, they can't. They could never have an account. They could never have access to eTwinning. Also, if you don't invite someone to have access to the project, no one will be able to see what you do inside the project, let alone your students' photos. eTwinners are really enthusiastic people, educators. They believe in collaboration. They believe in helping each other. They believe in using web tools all the time in order to make their lessons really, really interesting. And to tell you the truth, I have stopped teaching from textbooks now. I've been teaching through projects. So that's all for me. Just Laura, when they want to register for the first time, I think there is the role to choose between teacher and something else, and they might get confused as Greek teachers do, and they tick something else, which leads them to look for a university because we have the ITE. So maybe you should show to them.
I think in Irwin it's just you just select primary
Just
school teacher.
Teachers only?
Yeah,
Yes, you do.
primary
Okay.
school, yeah.
Yes.
So it's very
different.
easy.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
you put in your roll number and then you select, Laergus get back to you and say you guys are set up. And then once, maybe if you could let Emmanuel know through the website, the BFGTOEU website, or Trish, that you're registered, and then we can send you an invite.
If you're interested, please email me. This is a project that I would really like to see happening, and it's light touch. I take the first lesson where I'm going to do, the discussion on the club. I lead the discussion on the club, the smoothie, etc. And I'm hoping for interaction via Zoom. And I'll take the last one with the Your Day quiz. In the middle, you have two other activities. So one with the Euro note. The Euro is 20 years old. The European Central Bank has just announced that they were going to change what is on the notes. If you've ever listened to Ryan Tubridy, he keeps complaining about how bland the notes are with those bridges and buildings that mean nothing. So it would be super interesting to get the children to think, what would be something good to put on the notes that speaks to all Europeans? Obviously not put Roy Keane or, Bono on it, but just kind of think what would be something good to put on the Euro notes. And that also kind of moves away from the coins that you're looking at, but complements what you're doing with the coins specifically. So that's the second activity. And the third activity, as Laura said, it's collaborative art. You can do it at any level. I know the older children enjoy it, and it's we provide the package, like the PDF package. All the tiles are numbered, and you have 3 different designs. One is a big map, and 2 are one a woman and one a man. Jean Monnet and Simone Weil. But alternatively, for the older children, you can decide to do mind mapping around Brexit, around gender equality, around climate change, or migration crisis. And then, as I said, the last lesson, or the last activity, I lead it. It's divided into all levels. So we do a quiz for first, second, a quiz for third, fourth, and a quiz for fifth, sixth. So different levels of difficulty when it comes to the questions. And we have, last year we had Deirdre Clune, Sean Kelly, and Barry Andrews who joined us, engaged with us, and it was brilliant. And Georgia was great. She joined the quiz with the fifth, sixth, turned on the camera, and so many Irish teachers actually emailed me at the end. Great activity. We were right in the middle of COVID, so it was something slightly different that teachers enjoyed. But so many emailed me, and the kids were amazed that the kids in Greece had the same chairs as they had. Little things like this, and this is what thinking, well, we live on the west side of this big club, and Greece, look at it, it's way at the opposite end, and yet we get euro coins from Greece. We get, we sit on the same chairs. There are things that we share, there are things we don't share. Just on the euro, while I'm thinking of it, because it's happened to me a lot, and I completely assumed that it was understood, and it wasn't, and it took me by surprise. A lot of children, no matter the age, a lot of children thought that if the euro coin didn't have a harp at the back, they couldn't spend it in Ireland. So that's something really to emphasize, because obviously it's the opposite. Well, it's the principle is that you can use it everywhere, but it's to show the diversity of the European Union. So I would really, really encourage you to consider the eTwinning project. I'll be there to support you. I'm there'll be someone else on my team joining. Please, we'll really hold your hand. We'll be there, and it complements the BFGTOEU program. So very much, you know, we start on the week of the 7th of March for the first lesson. The last one has got to be on the 9th of May because it's Europe Day. And in between, you have those 2 activities, but that you can very much knit very easily with the lessons that I just went through on the website. So please email us if you're interested, because I think it's a fantastic opportunity to connect in a very light touch way. As Laura said, it doesn't have to be a Zoom even, it can be email, you know, between the 2 teachers. It can be really easygoing. Yeah, just I'm pushing this activity, as you
And
can
I just,
see.
because George and myself are both on the project, we're the founders and Emmanuel is there, it's going to be a really easy process for you to start your journey with eTwinning, because you're going to get so much support from us, and you know, it's only an added benefit to your kids' daily lives in school. Really, there's. Can you say anything else, Georgia?
I will say that even if they do register this year and work on with us, and they just say, okay, I don't care anymore, I don't want to go on, they are still free to use the eTwinning platform for professional development for themselves. But I have to give them a serious warning. eTwinning is really addictive. Really, really addictive. So
yes,
get
I
ready
second
for
that.
fantastic experiences.
Yes, it really kind of shows to Irish kids, like any other kids around Europe, that, you know, it opens their window onto other worlds, and it's really fantastic. So thanks a million, Laura and Georgia. I'm just going to wrap up because I know you've been logged on for an hour here. So there will be a Europe week as well, where we develop specific activities, completely optional. They're put up on the website. You take what you want, you don't use the, you know, what you don't want to use. I'll just show you very briefly. Here we had our first Europe Week last year. So you could do, you know, art, you could create your own activities. This was the tile art, the collaborative art. This was the quiz, the Europe Day quiz, with you know, the kids taking part, and the MEPs contributing. No, what are they called again, Trish? Acronistic poems, is it?
Acrostic,
not acrostic, acrostic poems, which I discovered and I loved. So and very creative. Who's in the club and etc. And yes, a fantastic tile art done of Jean Monnet. I contacted the school to get it, but they had actually given it away already. It's going to become like, you know, the pieces of art that everybody will fight over. So yes, so it's the Europe Week is optional. I just put it up, and you decide to do what you want. Yes, Trish.
Did you see the questions, Emmanuel? Sorry.
No, sorry. I didn't.
The chat.
With Greece, this is great. Sounds fantastic. Hold on. Is the KWL for individual pupils? Oh, yes. So let me say, first of all, the question I always forget to answer, you can start BFGTOEU at any point. So if you don't want to do, I will answer your question though. It's just this question is asked every evening. You can start BFGTOEU at any point. We just ask you to complete it or have it mostly completed by the end of May, because we need to get we need to get your KWLs, we need to get the plaques printed, and we need to send you the plaques, and etc. So it's a bit of a process, and we obviously want you to get them before the end of the year. If you're doing the eTwinning project, obviously you're kind of a little bit bound by this, right? Because you're starting on the 7th of March, and then you're finishing on the 9th of May. And of course you can do the election after the 9th of May, that's no problem, but just to keep in mind that those are dates that you need to build into your schedule. As for the KWL, so the KWL is a class KWL. So the children as a class answer the question that you put, well, answer the KWL or the K and the W, which you might put on the board, for example. And either you type it up or you kind of write it down, what they suggest about what they know about the European Union and what they would like to learn. So it's a class one, and it's the pupils as a class. I am fully aware that you might have 2 kids who are mad into the EU, why not, and know loads, and the others will be extremely silent. And that's okay. I mean, I understand that. Please don't rule out any answer that you think might be silly or kind of, you know, OTT. Don't. It's part of what interests us in terms of what prior knowledge or what ideas they have on the European Union. And it is really the class as a group and not the teacher. Were there other questions? No?
Just where would you get the book, The Lion Inside? So it's available from all, you know, I'd say Irish bookstores. Do check in the juniors to second classrooms in your school because it might be in their library there. It's about €10 if you want to purchase it. I'm nearly sure it's on YouTube. If you know how some books are on YouTube, if you check on YouTube, I think it's on it there as well. But yeah, check the school first because it might be in the junior rooms in their library.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm just going to conclude by saying that, as I said, flexibility is at the heart of the program. So you decide how you build your 6 weeks. You will get a plaque that you might have seen when you registered, which is a perpetual plaque. So it has the name of your school and then European Citizenship Award, like that. And every year you get a little silver tag with the year you completed the program, the name of the teacher and the class level. This is why when you registered, I asked you, what did you want on your plaque? Some of you just wanted a class level, no name, and etc. We're taking all of this into, you know, consideration when when we are going to give it to the engraver. So, but to get this, you just need to complete the KWL, email it to us, and we will send you the plaque. And obviously, completing the BFGTOEU program really develops the links between your school and UCC, University College Cork. It's very important for UCC, it's very important for me. And if you have any suggestions as to how UCC might support you further or activities that you would like to see developed, get in touch, because this program is trying to be as helpful to teachers, and as you know, I don't live in a classroom. I mean, Trish does, but I don't, and obviously all classrooms are very different. So Trish started with this, but we would love to hear your feedback, your suggestions, and don't hesitate to add activities that you think might be useful, and if you want to share them, even better. Do you have any questions? No questions?
There's one coming in maybe.
Oh, thanks a million.
We really appreciate you logging on at 8 p.m.
Yes, I know.
Trying to find.
Oh,
Thank you.
thanks, Patrick. This is a great program to be involved in, and the children I did it with 2 years ago enjoyed it immensely. It ticks so many boxes. The resources are excellent. Well done. Thank you, Patrick. That's always great feedback. We certainly like reading anyway. And as I said, I mean, you know, Trish and I are here to support you, so don't hesitate if you get confused about something, or sometimes, as I said, the website can be slightly temperamental. Don't hesitate, email me. I'll fix it the best I can, and I'll make it work. When set up on eTwinning platform, do we find our own partner? Oh, no. you'll be matched, unless you want to. Like, it depends what you want to do.
For this project, we'll find you the match because we have the members already set up. So you don't have to worry about that. I'll invite you. And then once you can do whatever you want, then you can meet up and connect with lots of other teachers. But for this project, George and me will be selecting the members, But we'd love to have you set
If you have
board.
Laura, if you had a particular country in mind, is it possible to request it?
Yeah, that will be okay. We have some countries with a few members joined, but particularly, you know, if you have, I know in my daughter's class, there's 3 girls who are Croatian speakers. So if you had a class, or maybe you had a lot of Lithuanian speakers, and if you wanted to connect with one of those classes, that could be okay. It may be a case that we could be triplets also, as opposed to twins. We have to wait and see who wants to join up.
That's great. Are there any other questions? Otherwise, I'll let you go. It's very late. And Georgia, thank you so much for connecting so late. I really appreciate you.
It was a real pleasure. Don't worry about me.
Thanks.
Still early for me.
Thanks a million. Will, looking forward to something. Yes, I hope so. I hope your class will enjoy it. I think they really enjoyed the discussions, and you'll be surprised at how interesting the discussions will be, actually. So please, as I said, share with us your feedback. And Trish and I are here to kind of answer any queries.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thanks a million. Bye, Emery.
Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. It was great. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Nancy. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye,
Thanks.
Kathy.